Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wait What We Talking About podcast, episode 214. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch the podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You drop a follow over there, you get notified when we go live, and when Moose will yell at you, so you join on the fun and conversation with us over there. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, wherever you're watching or listening to this, if you drop a follow, drop a sub, it may seem small, but it does help the channel grow. So if you take the time to do that, we would love and appreciate you for it. Today, two topics. We're talking video games. Yeah. A little late on the first one, not gonna lie. I wanted to quickly touch upon the III Initiative showcase that happened as of recording maybe 2 weeks ago, April 10th. So, yeah, a little under 2 weeks ago. Talk about the games that they showed there, or at least some of the games that stuck out to me. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Talk about them because there's a lot of cool indies that are being developed out there, and we've been diving into them more and more, especially with PAX East and stuff like that. So some cool announcements with this. I wanted to dive into them. So overall, as a 40-minute showcase, III Initiative is a new kind of amalgamation, I guess, of III independent studios that are just showing off their games. I know there's a bunch of other indie showcases that are out there. You got the 6-1 Indie Showcase, you got Humble Games, you have, I know Nintendo does their Indie World stuff. There's other ones out there that I'm definitely forgetting, and I do apologize. But to have even more, I guess, not names out there, but more production and attention put towards indies is great, especially because there are so many games out there, and a lot of them can fly under the radar just with the amount of games in general, from AAA, AA, single A to indie titles out there. You want to try and elevate as much as you can, especially projects that, even though developed by a small team, have a lot behind it in terms of story, graphics, gameplay, stuff like that. So cool to see more eyes upon it, or more attempts to get eyes on it. So just another showcase is great overall. So once again, 40-minute showcase, 35 games were featured in all, and just want to talk about a few that caught my attention. So first one, they opened up with the big one, was Slay the Spire 2. Now, I have not played Slay the Spire 1 at all. I just know this is a game a lot of people talk about and have high praise for. I believe it's a card combat game. I probably should look this up. Kind of similar to, I guess, mechanics of Inception and more recently Balatro. Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck-building game developed by Megacrit Studio, published by Humble Bundle, words. In Slay the Spire, the player, through one of 4 characters, attempts to ascend the spire of multiple floors, created through a procedural generation, battling through enemies and bosses. Combat takes place through a collectible card game-based system, with the player gaining new cards as rewards from combat and other means, requiring the player to use strategies of deck-building games to construct an effective deck and to complete the climb. So yeah, I haven't played, like I said, the first one at all, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it. I'm really enjoying it, and from my experiences with, once again, Inscription and Balatro, this just is similar in gameplay, and it sounds intriguing. I'm curious to look more into the footage of the first one. I'm sure it's also decently probably on sale at this point, with the new one being released and then it being out for a while. So this one caught my attention. It was just like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know they were working on a second one. Seems like it's going to arrive, in early access in 2025. So if that's something that floats your boat, make sure you guys go wishlist that, so you can get all the updates there. Another one that caught my attention, as I scroll down, is Vampire Survivors. I know, I'm really late to this party. But Lady has been playing the crap out of this lately, and she's been very kind enough to let me take the reins here and there and play it on the Switch. And surprisingly, it's a lot of fun. Is it very simple in terms of what you're doing, of just like the mobs of enemies coming at you and destroying them, yes, but there are different objectives, and with the amount of characters that they do have, I found it's been fun to jump into. Now you're probably like, well, Brett, why are you excited that they announced Vampire Survivors? Because they announced it's coming to PlayStation. So apparently at some point this summer it's going to be coming to PlayStation consoles, which awesome. They also did announce new DLC coming for the other versions of the game, with Operations Guns DLC, bringing characters and weapons from the game series of Contra to Vampire Survivors, and that's right around the corner on May 9th. So cool to see that. Excited to dive more head on into it once it comes to PlayStation and figure out like all the different objectives and how to get through with the characters and stuff like that. It seems like we've talked about it before with like those games, the comfort games where you can kind of turn your brain off of and just kind of sit there, relax with it, not overthink things. I think I alluded to Borderlands earlier just because I've already played through the story. It's just like brain off, poo, shoot, stuff like that. I know there's other games that fit that niche, like a Marvel Snap, like a Stardew Valley. But this one seems like another one that will check that box. I'm interested in playing in more of the characters. I've kind of typically only stuck around with one. Shout out to Pugmala. I really liked her base attack and stuff like that, but intrigued to see what the trophies are like, what objectives are further down in that game, or what they have for you to accomplish with defeating the different Reapers. I'm not sure if there's a reward for completing each of the stages with the different characters, whatever there is. Just looking forward to getting my hands on that a little bit more and exploring what they have to offer. From there, we move on over to, hold on a second, What the Car from Triband. What the Car, the Gonzo action game from What the Golf Studio Triband, is coming to Steam on September 5th, but demo is available now. So I, once again, have not played What the Golf. There's also What the Bat, which is on PlayStation VR 2 from Triband, I believe, and these are just very goofy games, like in the best way possible. So What the Car seems like more of that. You are a car that will sometimes be manipulated to have legs or have plethora of wheels around it, or you're a shark fin, as this one shows here. But it's essentially a platformer where you're trying to get point to point and get through all these obstacles. I don't know exactly what the golf entailed. I think What the Bat, no, I think I'm thinking Tentacular, but What the Bat, I thought was like your hands were bats and then you had to do simple tasks with that. Yes. Yeah. So What the Bat, you're just a character in VR. You have bats for hands and you need to solve puzzles akin to Octodad, with the crazy physics and stuff like that. So it just seems like insane in the best way possible and goofiness. So looking forward to maybe trying that out and just having a lot of laughs over it. There's another roguelike here. Just really like the art style. Don't know much about the game itself. From Past Tech Games, Raven's Watch Fall of Avalon. It's a co-op roguelike. Raven Watch is getting early access called Fall of Avalon April 22nd. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already happened. If you're watching this live, it's tomorrow. So you can check that out. Let me see if I can find a better description for you. But the art style looked really cool. Raven's Watch. Well, that's just the website. That didn't help. The nightmares are spreading within Reverie, corrupting everything in their path. You must hone your skills and find the strength to defeat the creatures of the nightmare using unique hero abilities inspired by characters from folk tales and legends. To defeat the nightmare and reach the final chapter, you need to build a strong You will need to build a strong build, focus, and excellent teamwork. I'm selling this game. Increase your fighting power in battles and then face the level boss when you feel ready or when you no longer have a choice. So yeah, the art style looks really cool here. I've talked about it before, but roguelikes I'm getting more interested in, whether it's the roguelike or roguelite. This looks similar to Hades in terms of upgrade abilities and how things will play out. It's got a cool art style, and then just having the co-op aspect to it as well could be a lot of fun with friends to get in on the chaos with. So you check that out as the demo comes out soon, or rather early access. Cat Quest 3! Looking forward to that. They seem like silly games, Cat Quest, but they are a lot of fun. Very simple. Another one I would kind of throw into that comfort category of you don't have to think a super lot about it. Top down, hack and slash, defeat cats, dogs, whatever enemy you are dealing with, and try and save the day. They announced this a while ago. I want to say maybe it was Summer Games Fest. We're going with a little bit of a pirate theme in this one. So, new trailer dropped for Cat Quest 3, showing a story sequence and some combat revolving around Golden Age of piracy, as portrayed by cute kitty cats, and it's coming out in 2024. So, stoked for that. Looking forward to more chaos with the cats. Alright, then from there, Tchia got announced that it's coming to Switch, which is cool. I know that were initially released, I believe, on PlayStation. I've heard good things, but have not dived into, so maybe now will be the time. Next one was brand new for me, which was another one I've heard of, but not much, just like in terms of name. Streets of Rogue 2. Described as an immersive open-world randomly generated sandbox game, debuted during the showcase. You can wishlist it on Steam now. If you're interested at all in this game, the first one is on a big sale on PlayStation side of things, which has me tempted to grab it. But it looked essentially like a heist game. And like they said, very sandboxy. With everything being generated or procedurally generated, you have these different characters, and you can go in there and just cause chaos and do what you want to do to in order to like achieve your objectives. You want to go and run and gun, you can do that. You want to take a car and just blast through a wall, you can do that as well. Seems like fun chaos, or fun chaotic energy as well. Streets of Rogue 2 is a crazy immersive RPG sandbox set in a vast randomly generated open world where freedom and fun are dialed up to 11. Fight, sneak, hack, farm, build, steal, or talk your way to power as you try and topple a corrupt president in countless possible ways, solo or with friends. So nice. Yeah. Another top-down adventure with this one. I've been intrigued to try the first one out, see if that clicks, and then dive into this. But I can definitely see how this would get a crazy audience behind it. And yeah, they kind of just show a bunch of different game modes as I listed there. Like you could just farm sim if you want to, leading up to your, I guess, takedown of this corporate entity. So yeah, interested. But that's from Tiny Build. So like I said, you can wishlist that now. No dates or any early access or anything like that. Apparently Pal World is getting like a Pokemon Stadium thing. Pal World Arena. Not personally up my boat, but is what it is. And then the last one I'm going to talk about probably is the highest on my list. So I saw this online, probably Twitter, not too long ago. And it was one of those ones that kind of came out of nowhere. And I was like, wow, this art style is insane. Looks like an old-timey cartoon, but to have it be a full-fledged game is insane. And it's Mouse. All capitals, Mouse, from Fumi Games and Playside Publishing. Now that Mickey Mouse is in public domain, this is what GameSpot has put about it. Many people are taking advantage. This includes Fumi Games and Playside Publishing, which is releasing a Mickey Mouse with guns called Mouse. A new trailer shows off more of the game, in which players mow down all manner of legally distinct Mickey Mouse characters in black and white retro-inspired shooter. It's definitely Mickey Mouse inspired in terms of like the art style. You're not going to see like the Steamboat Willie characters running around or anything like that. I think it's just basically that old school art. That's the big thing. From the Steam page, join our private detective in Mouse, a gritty jazz-fueled shooter with guns blazing and a retro rubber hose animation style. Battle your way through a corrupt city full of crooks and danger. Inspired by classic first-person shooters and noir films, Mouse is an explosive shooter you've been waiting for. So yeah, looks insane. I would kind of compare it also to like Bendy and the Ink Machine, a little bit of Cuphead just with the animated art style. But yeah, just very, very impressive that they are able to take this art style and then make it a game where it is the 2D art, but it's in that 3D world where you can run around, shoot, collect different stuff, and go through this story. Just very entertaining. I'm watching the trailer right now. There's a wide variety of guns. There was even one where you're using your hand as a gun, along with explosives and whatnot that you can throw around. It says it's coming in 2025. Yeah, can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait. I don't know if there's a demo or anything available. There is not, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more information about this. I believe Vicarious is also helping with that. So shout out to Mike. He was able to get me just an article about their release here and just some more information. It seemed like a great time. So I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on this. And yeah, just once fully diving into it once it comes out. So very excited. But overall, the showcase was a lot of fun. Being their first one, they kind of were all in your face of like, this is the AAA Initiative Showcase, blah, blah, blah. You're watching this. And then it's like, all right, I understand I'm watching this, but I get it. They're just trying to put it out there so you don't forget, especially with being a new thing. Like, we're not going around. We're going to keep doing these showcases and stuff. It was overall good production, but that was the only weird thing I noticed. But back to back with the game announcements, very, very quick and satisfying. Lots of different stuff in there. Like I said, I only mentioned a few here that caught my attention, but wide variety of games in there. I think it's 35 in total. So yeah, it's a good year for indies. A lot of good stuff. I know as of recording May 9th, that week seems to be a very busy one. With Cryptmaster, which we've played, they have a new demo out. That's going to be out, I believe. Animal Well drops on the 7th. Little Kitty Big City, I believe, also comes out on May 9th. So a lot of good stuff with more to follow it, whether it's this year or next year. So make sure you go to Steam. Make sure you go to your console of choice. Check if it's on there. If it is, make sure you wishlist it. Definitely helps those guys out if they don't have a publisher. Just get a little bit more eyes on them, and then maybe they can strike that deal and help those guys out with putting it out there. So just want to talk about that. And yeah, if you guys got any cool indies that you saw from the Triple I or just in general, let me know in the comments section below, and it'll be lovely to talk.